Hey folks, today is a great day. We've got problems and we got solutions. So what are the problems? Origins. We all know Revit origins are probably the most annoying, hard to understand, mysterious, and changing thing inside of Revit. So look at this wonderful mess. How are we going to get things aligned? Where do we get the data? How can we visualize this and make sure that it's okay? All right, so here's the solution. It's quick, it's simple, it's as easy as can be. So we have a status telling us if everything is okay. Then we have a summary of all 4 points, and then we go into detail into the points. So let's look at a model that we know is perfectly aligned. Now, this one here, it's aligned. However, the survey point is not set. So it comes up as a warning because the survey point is still at 0, 0 instead of being, many kilometers away. And we're saying the internal origin is aligned, the project base point is aligned, the survey point marker is aligned, but the data inside the survey point is still set to 0, 0. And when we say align, we mean aligned with the host model, which in this case is the architectural file. Now, what about this one here? Well, this one, I kept the origin at the same place, but I did a mirror. So we see the rotation is understood as being 180 degrees, and it's coming up as a mirrored element. So there's a slight variation there. Let's look at a model that's quite unaligned. So the mechanical, the internal origins are off by less than a foot. What we're seeing here are distances. So the project base point marker is off by many thousands of kilometers. So is the survey point marker, but the survey point data is still at 0, 0. When we look at these columns here, we see the same thing. We see the distance, but then we see the distance in XYZ. And if you don't know what that little triangle here, it means delta, which means difference. So it's just, I didn't want to write the full name because then the columns start getting quite chunky, or you have to start wrapping the text, which is not quite nice. So the little triangle makes everything much easier to read. And we get these detailed diagnostics for every one of the origins, whether it's hidden or not. So if you want to move your model back at the same place, you can simply move it in the XYZ dimension with this amount of distance, and you'll be fine. Now, notice how the models are there multiple times. And this is not good practice, right? We see this mostly with multi-residential, where they'll copy an apartment, let's say 500 times. Usually you want to be using grouping, but we don't design for best practice. We design for possible human behaviors. So if you do copy the same link 100 times or multiple times, we're still going to be able to support that. So what do you think about this? I'm completely ecstatic because this is a nightmare to solve. And this is as simple as it can be presented in a way that you see the problem and you know exactly how to solve it. Do you find this useful? Do you find other ways of resolving this complex problem? What do you think about all of this? All right, thank you very much. Have a good day. Cheers.